one of the things that you kind of harped on, I don't know what chapter it was, but you talked about like beneficiaries and how individuals who remarry and are dating up until a certain point and things like that. A lot of times, if you're dating someone or you get remarried and you don't update your benefits and you pass away, your assets can legally go back to your ex-wife or your ex-husband. So could you talk about that and how?
Yeah, that's one of the unfortunate cases we've seen. When I say unfortunate, meaning that, again, didn't go to the people you probably had in mind.
Mhm.
We've seen cases where individuals have, as you just described, married, moved on, second wife, or even third in some cases, where the beneficiaries of policies were not updated. And guess what? Those individuals are still the beneficiaries of those policies.
Yeah.
And so those things haven't been updated. And oftentimes, back to the procrastination, those are topics we don't want to talk about because they create conflict, especially in a new relationship, and or if you've got kids by first wives, etc. And so what people do is stick their head in the sand and avoid them. But those kinds of challenges are real. They happen every day. I've seen cases where a spouse, um, is not listed as the beneficiary and lose the ability to really what I would call identify with the retirement benefits associated with her loved one. And so those are all challenges and things I think we need to talk more about because let's just face it, in the reality of where someone, let's just say they're dating or not married and not listed legally on the beneficiary list, as you just described, then guess what happens? Those funds go back into the pot. So someone's worked 40 years or 30 years for a retirement and they don't have the ability to pass that retirement on properly, those kind of go back in the pool. You get the loss, you lose all those benefits. So you multiply that. Let's just say it's $40,000 a year. May not be a lot of money by some, but still it's a lot of money. You multiply that times 15 to 20 years that a spouse may live to receive those. That's a big deal. And that's the kind of wealth we need to be thinking about. I will call it residual wealth, where someone's worked all of their life, maybe they left, but the reality is they didn't have the heir to properly pass that on, or the paperwork wasn't done properly, and you have to say no to those individuals because, again, they may not have been legally married, et cetera, and so those can be problems too. So yes, we wrote a little bit about those to, again, create the opportunity to have discussions because there should be no reason to have those outcomes unless they are planned.